The air crackled with anticipation. The nation held its breath. All eyes focused on the Supreme Court. A sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air. Then the gavel fell. The sound echoed across the country, a stark reminder of the power wielded within those hallowed halls. The Supreme Court had spoken. The impact was immediate, the consequences far-reaching. This was not just another ruling, it was a seismic shift in the political landscape. The aftershocks were felt from the highest echelons of power to the everyday lives of ordinary Americans. This decision, rendered in the austere yet imposing chamber of the highest court in the land, would have profound and lasting implications for the future of the nation. The ruling itself was as unexpected as it was unprecedented. Whispers of the decision had circulated for weeks, but few had dared to believe the rumors. Speculation ran rampant, fueled by leaks and conjecture, but the reality proved even more dramatic than anyone had anticipated. The Supreme Court, in a stunning rebuke of the Trump administration, delivered a blow to the heart of the former president's legal strategy. This ruling, the specifics of which sent shockwaves through the legal and political establishments, threatened to unravel years of carefully constructed legal arguments and political maneuvering. Caroline Leavitt, once a fixture in the Trump White House, now a rising star in conservative circles, reacted with unconcealed alarm. Her usually carefully measured pronouncements were replaced with a raw, almost frantic energy. The fear in her voice was palpable, a clear indication of the depth of concern within the former president's inner circle. Leavitt, known for her unwavering loyalty and fierce defense of Trump and his allies, seemed shaken to her core. Her pronouncements, usually delivered with unwavering confidence, were now laced with a noticeable tremor. This was not the carefully crafted outrage of a seasoned political operative, it was the genuine fear of someone witnessing the crumbling of a worldview. Trump embattled a legacy shrouded in legal battles. For Trump, this ruling represented the latest in a long line of legal setbacks. Over the years he had faced numerous legal challenges that seemed to follow him like a shadow. His presidency, and the years following, had been marked by a constant barrage of investigations, lawsuits, and legal challenges. Each new case brought with it a media frenzy, capturing the attention of the nation and the world. From allegations of obstruction of justice to accusations of financial impropriety, Trump had always managed to evade accountability, his legal team adept at exploiting loopholes and delaying tactics. These legal maneuvers often left his opponents frustrated and his supporters emboldened, yet this time felt different. The atmosphere was charged with a sense of finality, as if the walls were finally closing in. The Supreme Court, often seen as the last bastion of hope for Trump and his supporters, had seemingly turned against him. This was a significant blow, not just legally but symbolically. This ruling, with its potential to expose Trump to further legal scrutiny, struck at the heart of his carefully constructed image of invulnerability. It was a moment that could redefine his legacy, shifting the narrative from one of untouchable power to one of vulnerability and accountability. The implications were profound, not just for Trump, but for the political landscape of the United States. A Supreme Court stands firm. The Supreme Court, in its decision, demonstrated a newfound willingness to hold the former president accountable. This decision marked a significant departure from previous rulings, where the court had often been seen as reluctant to challenge the executive branch. The justices, through their deliberations, showcased a commitment to upholding the principles of justice and the rule of law. This was not the court of old, content to allow Trump's transgressions to go unchecked. Instead, it was a court that recognized the importance of its role in maintaining the balance of power within the government. The justices were acutely aware of the historical significance of their decision and the message it would send to future administrations. This was a court determined to assert its independence, to reaffirm its role as a check on executive power, even when that power was wielded by a figure as polarizing as Donald Trump. The justices' discussions were intense and thorough, reflecting their understanding of the gravity of the situation. They knew that their ruling would be scrutinized and debated for years to come. The ruling, while narrow in its scope, carried with it the weight of history. It was a reminder that the judiciary has a crucial role in safeguarding democracy and ensuring that no one, not even the president, is above the law. The justices' decision was a testament to their dedication to these principles. It signaled a potential turning point in the relationship between the judiciary and the executive branch. The court's willingness to stand firm against executive overreach was a powerful statement of its independence and its commitment to the Constitution. This decision could pave the way for a more assertive judiciary in the future. No longer would the court be a rubber stamp for the whims of a president, even one who had appointed a significant portion of its members. The justices' ruling was a clear indication that they were prepared to uphold their duty to the Constitution, regardless of political pressures. This moment in history will be remembered as a defining point for the Supreme Court and its role in American democracy. The walls close in, a presidency under siege. The implications of the ruling extended far beyond Trump himself. It was a seismic event that reverberated through the halls of power, shaking the very foundations of the political landscape. It cast a long shadow over his allies and associates, many of whom had enjoyed impunity under his protection. The ruling was a stark reminder that no one, no matter how powerful, was above the law. JD Vance, once a rising star in the Republican Party, now found himself caught in the crosshairs. His political future, once bright and promising, now seemed uncertain and fraught with peril. His close ties to Trump, once seen as an asset, now threatened to become a liability. The very association that had propelled him to prominence was now a potential anchor, dragging him down. The ruling sent shockwaves through the Republican Party. It was a moment of reckoning, forcing many to reconsider their loyalties and alliances. Longtime allies who had stood by Trump through thick and thin now began to distance themselves, fearing the political fallout. The once solid front was beginning to show signs of fracture. The once unshakable grip Trump held on the party seemed to loosen as cracks appeared in the facade of unity. The future of the party and its direction was now more uncertain than ever. The road ahead, uncertainty reigns. As the dust settled, the true impact of the ruling remained unclear. Legal experts, their voices hoarse from endless speculation, offered a range of opinions from cautious optimism to dire predictions of impending doom. One thing was certain: the American political landscape had been irrevocably altered. The road ahead promised to be fraught with uncertainty, a tangled web of legal challenges, political maneuvering, and public outcry. The battle lines had been drawn, the stakes higher than ever. The future of the nation, once seemingly secure, now hung in the balance.